Hi YouTube, my so-called Uber life here. Just wanted to give a daily vlog. Today is the November the 19th, 2016. Correct? Yeah, November 19th, 2016. Friday, and I'm still in my first week of Uber. But this was my first weekend night, my first Friday night, and I'm just going to tell you, it was a great night. Actually, at the very end of the night, I was about to give up. Not really give up, not a good word, but just go home and rest. And all of a sudden, the surge pricing indicator came up, and I said, well, let's just give this a whirl, see what it's all about. And I gotta say, that's, if you live in an area that does surge pricing a lot, like if you lived in LA or New York or DC or something like that, you could make pretty good money being an Uber driver. I mean, not to say that not being somewhere that isn't a surge price, you couldn't make good money, but I'm gonna tell you, I took what I would consider to be a pretty normal trip throughout the night, and most of the time for the same trip I was making about $5-6. But when the surge pricing hit, it was 1.5 times, and that one netted me about $11. So I didn't look at what the fare was to the customer, but Uber got their 20%, 25%, whatever it is. So anyway, with surge pricing in effect, you can definitely make some good money. But overall, I said this in one of my earlier videos, if you're not a people person, this is not the job for you, but I am such a people person. I love talking to people, getting to know them, and tonight was no different. I met a lot of great people, and to throw some interesting twist in there, I met quite a few drunk people, and drunk people, they love to talk. So, they were very talkative. I picked up three very lovely older women. I mean, they were probably maybe mid-40s, I would have to guess. They had went to a local dive bar here called the Blind Tiger, and there was the Grateful Dead cover band playing, and they had partaken in some drinks, maybe some marijuana. I'm not sure. Don't want to jump to conclusions there, but it was a Grateful Dead cover band, but they were rambunctious, to say the least. I mean, they were a hoot. They were having a good time, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I kept telling them. They asked me if they could turn on the radio. We turned it on to the local top 40 station. They were dancing. They were having a great time, and they were like, "You must think we're crazy." I said, "Look, y'all guys are having a good time. Don't let me get in the way of that. As long as I can safely drive you to your destination, you can dance and hoot and holler all you want to." So they were wonderful. They actually they asked me to stop at a gas station here, which we have a pretty nice gas station in North Carolina, and actually a couple other states, but it's called Sheetz. They have just about everything you want, and one of them said, "I need cigarettes and I need wine. We're going to keep this party going." So I agreed to stop at Sheetz and wait for them, and they went in there and picked out their wine and their cigarettes, and they felt it was tip worthy, so they gave me a $5 bill for my troubles. So first tip as an Uber driver, not too shabby. I think I probably made $6-7 off the fare. So for them to tip me, they tipped me like 80%. So not too bad. But like I said, so far it's been a great experience. The money is definitely why I'm doing it, but I've realized that above and beyond the money, meeting people, talking to people is such a great reward. And, I don't think I'll change that notion. And the greatest thing about it is I'm in sales. My 9-to-5 job is in sales.
So, you know, there's days in my sales career that I just don't feel like doing anything. I just don't feel like engaging people. I don't feel like calling somebody and begging them, not begging them, but calling somebody and you know, my boss always says you don't be afraid to ask for the sale. You don't get the sale unless you ask for it. And you know, you're right. Wayne Gretzky said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, which is true. So, you know, it's a great way to keep my mind engaged and keep my people skills sharp, up. And, you know, I've had multiple people tell me tonight, and they told me other times, but they tell me, you know, it's a fantastic Uber experience riding with me. And I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn here or anything. I'm just saying, you know, like, to be a successful Uber driver 3 days in, you know, who am I to preach? But, you know, you definitely need to be engaging to the customer. You need to, you know, I try to chat them up. I try to chat everybody up. And, you know, it's pretty obvious right on who wants to talk and who doesn't. So my last fare tonight was the one that I did surge pricing on. It was 4 young ladies. They were, well, you know, I'd call them young ladies. They were probably late 20s, early 30s. I'm sure they'd still like to be called young ladies, but, you know, the 3 in the back, they were kind of conversing to themselves. You know, and I don't know what the status quo is on that, but you know, when you're a driver and your patrons are talking, you kind of hear what they're saying, and maybe you interject, maybe you don't, maybe you're not supposed to, but I did, you know. So, you know, they were talking about being at the club, and some guy was asking for their Facebook account, and then he asked for their Instagram screen name, and you know, I thought this was the perfect time for my wit to jump in here, and I said, well, you know, you don't ask for the number anymore, because you ask for the number, he can give you a fake number, but if you ask for your Facebook, the guy can get on there and stalk you and see what you're all about. And they thought that was hilarious. And, you know, that they were probably expecting me to just sit there, stare straight ahead, and not say a word. But I like to try to let them know that, well, I guess let them know that I'm listening to them, but also just let them know I'm here. I'm a person. I want it to be a great experience, the Uber experience to be a great experience. We only spend 5 to 15 minutes at a time with these people, but hopefully it's memorable. But tonight was just a crazy night overall. I mean, I really went all over the place. You know, I thought that my best bet was to go to downtown Greensboro and wait there. And my first fare was a short jaunt through Greensboro. My second fare actually ended up being a guy who wanted to go from downtown Greensboro to his house in Kernersville, which was probably about a 20-minute ride down the highway. And which kind of surprised me. It ended up being a good fare. I think I made $17 off of that fare. Nice guy. We had a great conversation. It was his birthday, 40th birthday, and he had took the day off, or took half a day off, and went out drinking, bar hopping with his buddies, and he did the responsible thing, got an Uber home, and we had a great conversation. And then, you know, Kernersville is kind of a small town, and I thought, well, I got to get out of here. I got to get back to Greensboro where the fares are going to be. And before I could even leave the guy's driveway, I got a ping for a fare. Pick up at a local grocery store. Sure, why not? So I went and picked him up, and nice guy, had lost his license, DWI, or DUI, and, you know, he's just still trying to make it through life, and Uber was what worked for him. So he Ubered to get his groceries and Ubered back, and nice guy. Really enjoyed our conversation. I took him from Kernersville to the outskirts of High Point, so that was probably a 10 or 15 minute ride. And I said, well, you know, I've really got to make it back to Greensboro, because that's where the money is. And before I could even get out of High Point, I got a ding to go to Thomasville. mean, Thomasville is heading in the wrong direction to go to Greensboro. Thomasville's the opposite direction from Greensboro. But you know what? I said, why not? Let's go for it. So drove down there, picked up a very nice couple, and they were going to Greensboro for a concert. The Brothers Osbornes were playing in downtown Greensboro. So that was like a 35 minute ride. We talked the entire way. We talked about all kinds of things. We talked about politics. We talked about our hometowns. We talked about where one of the patrons, the girlfriend, was from Nebraska. We talked about Nebraska because I've been there a bunch of times. It was great. But I got him to Greensboro, and when I got him back to Greensboro, I was in downtown, where I thought I should have been the entire time. But that fare ended up netting me like $18. So 30 minutes of my time, probably, let's just say 45 minutes of my time, because it took me about 15 minutes to get there from High Point, and then it was about a 30-minute ride from Thomasville to Greensboro. So you call that 45 minutes of my time for $18. That's not too shabby. That's like $20-some an hour. That's let's say roughly $25 an hour without doing the calculations. And like I said, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the conversation. So if you take what you do and you enjoy it, it's worth it. So, but I stayed around Greensboro most of the rest of the night. Took people on some longer trips. But overall, it was a great night. So, like I said, it was a good night. I got to experience what surge pricing was all about. Kind of see that in action. I wanted to kind of stick around Greensboro until I could experience that, so I could kind of get my mindset about that. And but overall, I started working at probably right at 5:30. I picked up my first fare. Maybe 6 o'clock, and it's almost 3 a.m. and I'm heading home. So let's say it was 6 o'clock. So 9 hours, 8 or 9 hours, because I took an hour off for a dinner break. So let's just say 8 hours. 8 hours, I brought in $117. So, really, roughly, you break it down, I'm making about $12, $13 an hour, which to me is better than what I could have done working seasonal help at Lowe's Hardware or Home Depot or the Verizon store. So then that's what my alternative was for seasonal help to earn some Christmas money, was working one of those places. So, so far so good. So anyway, this one ran a little long. Thanks for watching, and I will be out and about again later tonight, Saturday, since it's already Saturday morning. I'll be out later tonight, Saturday, and I'll probably do another vlog again. So, and then after that, I'm not sure. I'll definitely Uber Saturday night. I think I'm gonna take Sunday and probably Monday off. I may Uber Tuesday, take Wednesday off. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I may Uber Wednesday. Wednesday might be a good day to Uber. Maybe go hang around the airport, because people will be coming in for the holidays. So we'll see how that works out. So anyway, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.